Mason Miller.
He's baby-faced, but he's a 6'5" flame-throwing righty.
This kid has been filthy.
Fastest gun in the league. Talk about power, 101.
102.
103.
104.
It's a blur.
Mason's starting to really feel it.
Swung on and missed on a slider. Down he goes.
Swing and a miss. Power slider. Back-to-back Ks for Mason Miller.
That is just thunder.
Nasty.
Dominant gas.
It's Miller time.
He's unhittable.
It's 103, and you're about an hour late.
Swing and a miss.
It is unfair.
Man, is he feeling it. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Our next guest has a thunderbolt hanging from his shoulder. It is Mason Miller. This is all he's done in the 8 appearances in 2024, including striking out the side Monday afternoon at Yankee Stadium. We're pleased to be joined by Mason Miller of the Oakland A's, who joins us on Central. Good morning to you. Thanks for coming in. How are you?
Good morning to you. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
What was that moment like? Yankee Stadium against the Yankees, striking out the side on Monday.
I think you have a lot of, I've made it moments, and I'd say that's right up there for
That was
me.
up there for you,
Yeah,
huh?
no doubt.
Your story is incredible, and I know you've told it before, but for our audience, it's one of overcoming adversity, and it started, we were reading the Athletic article on you, started with a drug test. Can you take us back?
Yeah, absolutely. It was 2018. I was planning to do a summer internship. I had to take a drug test to, last step to get in there. But I took the drug test. They thought that, I was trying to dilute my sample, and so they tested it. Further testing showed my blood sugar was off the charts, so they sent me to the ER. I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and that was in April of 2018. So we just passed 6 years, actually, since then.
Did you have any idea, fatigue, were there any signs along the way?
Yeah, I had a lot of symptoms, honestly, and, I'd done the whole, type it into Google, see what you have, and it said diabetes.
Google,
and
really?
It said diabetes, and I was like, that can't be me,
Right.
I'm 20 years old, I'm an athlete, I was losing a little bit of weight, but I didn't feel, totally unhealthy, comparatively.
But you had mentioned that, and your coaches is also, they were getting on you because you couldn't keep weight. You were having trouble getting gains in the weight room. So they just thought maybe you were doing something wrong or maybe not giving it your full effort. So that was part of the symptom. And then describe to us once you get diagnosed and you get other medication, what were the gains like both on the mound, in the weight room, everything?
Yeah, I put on, 15 pounds in 3 days in the hospital. I wasn't even doing anything. I was just, I'd lost so much weight that just putting on the fluids and the nutrients from the food, it came back that fast. And then just after that, it's just been steady kind of gain. The velos kind of just followed along with the weight. So
the velos just jumped up. Last year you're looking at, what, 98, 90, 97, 98?
Yeah, I think I touched 102 last year.
Last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
but I was working more like 98.
But you're more consistent with the
99.
100 now.
Yeah. From the bullpen, it's definitely played up.
Talk to me about, because you scrapped your cutter, just going 2 pitches out of the bullpen. Do you have visions of wanting to get back into rotation? Or
Sure. I think all pitchers really
want to start.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's something real cool happening.
I think if you're on the other end of, you're pitching in the back end, I think there's an argument that can be made. And I'm definitely enjoying the role I'm in now, and focuses entirely on this season. So, the future, we'll see what it holds. But yeah.
You were playing at the Division III level, and then you transferred to Gardner-Webb. Do I have that right?
You do.
I was wondering if you could describe to us the feeling that you felt when you touched 98, 99, because you were living 88, 89 at the D3 level, right?
Yeah.
So what was that moment like when you see the radar gun and pops up 98, 96? What was that moment like?
Well, we didn't even have a radar gun at Williamsburg, so I really had no idea what I was throwing. Right. But once I got to Gardner-Webb, I had a lot of coaches, scouts around that were, hey, you're running it up there a little bit. So it's just a little bit of a shock to me to just see it continue to go up. And, it's honestly just, I feel like a testament to the hard work I've done too. So it felt very rewarding to be able to see that and, quantitate it.
I was looking at your first pitch percentage as far as going from last year to this year. It's like, 20% higher. It's like 72%. And then you look at the swing rate, and they're actually hacking too. Look, I get 3 chances to hit this.
Yeah.
I better start hacking. Yeah. So what goes into your mindset of making sure you throw strikes because you know you have it, and you have to exploit these guys and knowing that, you know what, I throw hard, but I don't think you can hit me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing you can do is be in the zone. Whether you're a starter, middle relief, closer, whatever you are.
But you have to locate.
Less guys you're putting on base, the better. You know, you want a guy to beat you with the bat. You don't want to beat yourself and put him on base. So yeah, it's just kind of the mentality I've had, and you know, coming in and facing 3 guys for 3 outs, or you know, just trying to get those last outs of the game. You definitely don't want to have somebody on the base.
Talk me through your mentality, having to come in and get the 3 outs as opposed to, I think your debut was against the Cubs, if I'm not mistaken. Take me through like the starter mindset and the closer mindset.
I think you always have to have the dog, and you know you want to go get the guy out, you know. But it's just a little different when you know, even just subconsciously, you're going 5, 6 innings. Yeah. So you're going to see a guy twice. You might be setting him up for his second at bat, his third at bat.
This is your debut. What do you recall about this moment?
Nervous.
I was nervous for sure. Yeah, it happened fast. You know, I had made 2 starts in the minor leagues so far before the debut. So, you know, that one got up to me pretty fast.
You know, I was watching that. I was doing the Cubs game, and I was like, who is this dude right here?
Freak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time.
In live BP, when you tell guys in spring training live BP,
I'm not getting in there.
I'm not getting it.
Are they getting on it? Because in live BP, they tell you what's coming. So when Mason sits up there, it's like, boom.
I mean, usually I don't like guys to sit in there and know what's coming, and I don't think they really do either. So I just go normally. But yeah, a couple guys got me in spring, but
they clicked you.
Daryl Hernay's line went right back like off my shoulder.
You got to be careful.
Use the L screen though.
No,
they don't use the L screen anymore.
They took the L screen away?
Yeah, they did.
Why?
So be athletic and catch it.
Real quick,
I got you.
there's a lot of things swirling around this organization,
I'm old.
move and the whole thing, that really have nothing to do with you, your teammates, or the coaching staff. You guys are having some success this year, especially in light of what happened last year. I'm wondering if you could explain to us what it means to be a part of maybe some positive things happening and getting some success on the field, and what Mark Kotsay has meant to you guys.
Yeah, I think we have a good group of guys, you know, and we saw that kind of come together towards the end of last year. You know, we started so slow last year that it kind of just reflected over the whole year. But if you kind of look at us second half, I think we were playing better baseball. We got some other guys up there, young guys that, you know, we've played together. We got a good group. I think everybody's bonded and gelled together pretty well. Just kind of the energy in spring training, you know, obviously the expectations for us are low, but our expectations of ourselves are high. So,
Mark Kotsay ever tell you that he's the greatest college baseball player to ever walk?
He hasn't said that. I've heard.
Where do you go? Cal State Fullerton?
Cal State Fullerton. He was doing Jack Caglione stuff.
Yeah, this is Mark Kotsay.
I remember.
Look at Skip.
Shots. And then he'd come in and close it for the Titans back in the day.
Yeah, he did tell me about that. Said he'd come in and throw it as hard as he could, and then he couldn't feel his elbow after that.
Yeah, can we get a side view? One of the side views back up? And
Oh, my God, he's going to work here.
I know, he's definitely ready.
Here he comes.
He's ready, man.
So let me get a side view, Homer. If we can get one.
Just give Lucas just 1
Lucas just
second.
gave me a standby in my ear,
Yeah,
Brent.
that's my fault, Lucas. I'm sorry.
Of all the current players we've had, D-Row, he's like most TV ready. I'm
He's
serious.
the first one to ever call for a side angle.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mason Miller, no pressure. The last A we had at the
Let's
Skybox
go.
basically directed, so the floor is yours.
Oh, he's coming to work here once he's done. Once Rook gets done hitting bombs, he's got the Skybox on lockdown.
Yeah, that was
so
good.
you got big act to follow.
He's got a lot of home runs left.
This
so.
is the way. When you guys, we're always appreciative when you come in. And I coach my son's 14U travel team. I know there's a lot. Cliff went through the travel ball. So we got a lot of people you could teach at home. I know for me, if I was watching a show like this and Cal Ripken or Don Mattingly said something, I would have ran outside and tried to imitate them. So at some point, I want to get you on the mound. I want you to kind of take me through your mechanics and why you do things the way you do. So let's get in. Let's have a little love session on Mason Miller and this rocket arm. But I think there's more that goes into this. Cliff was talking to you. How much do you dive in on the analytics and stuff? Do you know your spin rates and your carry through the zone and your perceived velocity and everything that goes into it?
Definitely. I think.
Pause this.
I think if you don't, don't know it, I think you're leaving stuff on the table.
Right.
However, I don't think it's the gospel or anything. I don't think
Okay.
you follow that to a T. I don't think you follow just visual. I think you have to look at everything as a whole. And you know, some days you got it, some days you don't. But either way, you got to go compete. You know.
Do you have pinch me moments? Because bring up the first board, Devin, because your metrics say that no one can hit you. Your fastball velocity is the best in the game. Your expected batting average against is the best in the game. You get chase, you get whiff, best in the game, hard hit, you're 99th and barrel 91st. I mean, you're one of 2 pitchers in Major League Baseball ranking 90th percentile or higher in all 3 of these things. You aware of that?
I know. I don't know. You think you look at stuff, you look at, you know, what you're doing in a vacuum, you know, and, you know, it's awesome to have the recognition and see, you know, how I'm stacking up against other guys. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's me I'm competing against every time I go out.
You said something, Mace. You said something about like how everything in the past doesn't like sort of in today's world, you know, make sense, right? It's like, you know, you did everything in the past, and now it's like, now what are you gonna do for me now? What's gonna be, you know, Mason Miller moving forward? Can you be this guy consistent? It's very hard to be consistent in our sport.
No doubt.
But in your mind, when you get on that mound, what changes for you to make sure you know you can consistently go out there and pump 100, do your thing, and make sure these guys, you know, you get those precious 3 outs?
Yeah, I'm going to be in the moment, and I'm going to be thinking about, you know, that pitch.
You're right.
You know, I'm not thinking 2 pitches ahead or 2 pitches behind. I'm not thinking about a pitch I threw, you know, last week.
You're not thinking about it.
You know, I'm focused on what I want to do. I got a plan on how I want to get guys out. You know, Shea and I work really well together, and we have a good plan. We're always on the same page with what we want to do. So just getting in there and executing that plan, you know, that's the name of the game.
Have you changed your mechanics since college?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
100%.
so get up on the mound for me, please, if you don't mind. And we're kind of just going to walk through what you're trying to accomplish. You already start with that kind of out of the stretch side saddle.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest changes.
Did you ever pitch out of a windup?
Yeah, I mean, I still call this my windup because I take the step to the side. But really, I mean, in college I was here, just square, you know, and I'd step and I'd get my momentum going this way and come back this way. And, you know, I still provided reliable strikes, but I felt like I had a lot of lateral movement.
Yes.
Versus, you know, staying linear to the plate. So that was kind of the thinking that we did with presetting the foot. So I didn't have to change, you know, my linear or my lateral movement. You know, I just step and get like that flow in the windup, but just step and pick up, and this foot isn't moving. So I'm going to be consistent with where that foot's at every single time. And, you know, similarly to the stretch where, you know, your foot's set.
Yeah.
And you're just picking and going. This just gives you a little bit of
right
turn and
there.
bounce. But
What are you thinking in that moment? Is it a drive off the backside? Is it chest out over? We have Jake Peavy come out and do some pitching breakdowns that are incredible.
Yeah.
Other guys in here, because coaching, I know how to coach a ground ball. I could teach you how to hit.
Yeah.
The pitching, I would just be screaming, drive off your back leg. And I know that's not right.
I mean, to a point it is. You know, that's your balance point. You're going to be stacked over that back leg on the mound, and the longer you can stay there. And then once I start to drift, I think I drift really well. I think that's what I do better than a lot of guys. I stay in my back leg longer before my hips go and my shoulders go. So that's just, you know, allowing all that power to build in that back leg before it explodes up the chain and, you know, when I release the ball.
So he talked about like how you scrap the cutter.
Yeah.
What goes into the mindset of scrapping that? Like saying, you know what, this doesn't work, this does work. You know, I'm going to pay a lot of, you know, attention to detail on certain things that's going to make me successful.
Yeah, I think when you look at it on the outside, you know, that cutter was at like 95, so you think that's going to be a pretty good pitch,
right?
You know, but for whatever
You're
reason,
almost dumbing it down for a hitter because it's in go mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for whatever reason though, the cutter was statistically my worst pitch outcome-wise. So, you know, I'm going to go to the bullpen. I'm going to face, you know, 3-4 guys in an inning. I'm not going to show you my worst pitch. I'm going to stick to my strengths. So really, it just boiled down to I'm going to give you my best, even if my best is your best.
Even with the changeup you throw 2% of the time. Mm-hmm. Is that something just to get them off of something? Maybe a slider might not be working.
Yeah, I think my changeup's a good pitch. However, my slider and fastball are so much further ahead of it.
Right.
You know, until somebody shows me that they're on my fastball, they're on my slider, You know, I don't need to show that pitch. You know, who knows? At some point in the year, it might come to that point where, you know, I got to get batters thinking about something else.
Moment. When you talk about the kids and, like, you know what, trying to be cute. Yeah. Like, I have a changeup, I'm gonna throw it just because I throw it. Well, you don't have to throw it.
Yeah. Oh, there's a certain extent to that. I mean, on the other side of it, how are you going to learn to throw it if you don't?
If you don't throw it.
But
plus,
you
got to be
smart.
A starter and a reliever, you'll bring those pitches back if you go back into the rotation.
Definitely. Yeah, I still play catch with them, throwing them in the bullpen. I'm still comfortable throwing them, but you know, my bread and butter is fastball slide.
Got it.
So this week, I get off work, go in, meet Tyler Nevin's dad, Phil Nevin, who was my teammate, and we're going to watch a ball game, and you come in the ninth against the top of their order. Can we run this, please? Because I was sitting there, side angle. I'm like, these are great big league hitters. They have absolutely no chance to catch up to this man's fastball. And I know Volpe, you're probably thinking ultra aggressive hitter, so let me spin him some sliders. And then 103 at the top of the zone.
Yeah, I had him think about the slider. You know, you don't get a swing. You don't get a swing like that on a guy that's sitting on the fastball.
All right, ready, Cliff, for this? Now pause this. 1-0 to arguably the best hitter in the sport. You throw a bow and arrow heater middle, without any hesitation.
I'd call it middle in. I would let's see it.
Woo!
That's in. That's in.
Right by him. Watch this one.
He's not chasing many pitches like that.
No.
So go up there again.
I know I'm going up, but not that high. Yeah.
Are you walking around the mound like, dig me a little bit, feel me, people?
A little bit, but I know I got this guy coming in next, so I'm not taking my time.
Right.
You know, I'm not living in that moment too long. I got another big one coming here.
We got 0-2, and then I actually yelled at you from my seats here in a second because you hang him a 2-2 slider.
Yeah, did him a
right
favor.
there, and I'm like, you son of a gun. What was the mindset behind that before you blew his doors off with 102?
Well, I mean, it's Aaron Judge. You know, I have that respect for him, and then it was also a little bit of just me. I threw 2 bad sliders. It's like I'm not going to throw a third one.
Yeah,
you know, I'm going to throw a good one. I'm going to get it down.
Right.
I didn't. Left it right in the middle. So after that one, it's like, yeah, here we go. We got to get back to the fastball. Do what we do.
Your story's unbelievable. I could sit up here all day.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Real quick, Mason, for kids that are, you know, also struggling with diabetes and, you know, they're pursuing athletic career, what would you say to them?
I mean, for me, it was never something that kept me from doing things, and I don't think it should be keeping anybody from doing anything. It's a part of who you are, but it's not who you are. So, you know, you have the power to go out and, you know, be on a platform and be an inspiration to, you know, people that are dealing with the same thing you are. So, you know, I'm blessed to be in the situation I am, and I'm happy to, you know, hopefully be an inspiration to kids or, you know, other people that are dealing with the same thing that I am.
A's are on the rise.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Mason, on all your success. Thank you very much for coming in to see us here on MLB Central.